Dan, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Tennessee up 4-0. Baskets by Dalton Connect and Jonas Adu. A win puts Tennessee into first place in the SEC. Loose ball underneath, ripped away from Wildens Levesque. A&M currently a first four-out team. A huge opportunity tonight with Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch, as Zakai Ziegler is fouled, driving to the basket. Alabama was trounced today by Kentucky. As a result, they have 3 losses. Tennessee begins the night with 3 losses. South Carolina and Auburn right there. Auburn currently on top. Florida playing really well lately, and Kentucky on certain days look like a national championship contender, and on other days you just can't figure them out. But this is a huge game, Jimmy, for both here.
Yeah, Kentucky was the real day today, man. They erupted against Alabama. And you talked about the importance of this ball game. Look at Texas A&M right now. According to Joe Lunardi, I'm not going to completely agree that they are the first team out, but they have not won since they took down Tennessee 2 weeks ago. So a massive opportunity for the Aggies on the road tonight.
And Tennessee has a chance, Jimmy, to move into a first-place tie with Alabama.
And I think Tennessee is right there as the 4th #1 seed. It's a dogfight right now between them and Arizona and North Carolina. I favor Tennessee because of the strength of the league. And a big one tonight for Tennessee and the Aggies.
Texas A&M starting lineup: Taylor, Radford, Carter, Washington, Levesque. Both Radford and Taylor had rough games against Arkansas in a surprising road win for the Razorbacks. We just saw A&M a few nights ago. They weren't very good, and they are struggling to get a point here tonight. They are 0 for 4 to start the game. The rebound, and Solomon Washington has it go down and out. Volunteer lineup. They haven't lost a game since they lost to A&M. They're 3-0, and Ziegler off the front of the rim, and that is ripped down by Washington. Solo Washington took it personally. That Arkansas loss had his head in his hands for about a half hour after that game.
If you're Tennessee, you have to have full body gap protection against the Aggies. They are a downhill driving team. They only make 6 threes per game. They made 11 against Tennessee the last time, which really loosened up that Tennessee defense.
In the first game, that guy who just knocked it down, Taylor, had 25 and 7 assists. That's going to be trapped in the corner. They get it to Adu. Turnaround jumper, nothing but the bottom for Jonas Adu.
He is playing really well on both ends of the floor. Such a dynamic defensive anchor is Jonas Adu right now for Tennessee, one of the top 5 defensive teams in the country.
Yeah, near 50 blocks this year for Adu, just 1 short of 50.
Tennessee's going to be tight in those gaps to start this game. Play the percentages and see if A&M can make enough jump shots to hang in this ball game.
And Radford into the gap. That is block number 50 on the season for Jonas Adu. Here goes James. He's blocked by Levesque. Great help by Levesque. Carter, heavy contact, sent Vescovy to the floor.
And both teams are setting SEC physical screens so far.
Radford pulls up over Connect. That's no good. And their shooting struggles continue early. Connect will launch a 3, and that looked good the minute he left it hands.
It looked good as he ran to the shot. Way too much airspace for the SEC leader in the Player of the Year race. And Dalton Connect, there's not a better 6'6" shooter in the college game than that kid.
Jimmy, A&M is 1 of 8 from the floor tonight. They're down 8. Radford launches a deep one and finds the bottom. He's got all 6.
Well, Taylor's a guy that can get hot, and he put 41 on Arkansas on the road. He's a big game guy for a guard in tough environments, and that's exactly what he's dealing with tonight.
Yeah, Wade Taylor 2 for 2 from three-point land. They set up Ziegler. He drives. No foul called. And here comes Taylor. He'll pull up again. Wade Taylor's feeling it. He's 3 of 3 from deep.
He makes you pick up higher than your normal pickup spot is. You cannot allow 4 in maroon to deep dribble right into those threes. Watch out.
A lot of contact between two big bodies in Adu and Levesque, and thankfully both are getting up off the wood.
Well, Dalton Connect, his jump shot right now has to match that of Wade Taylor, and when he's open, this thing is money. And if he's has airspace, you touch that paint a little bit for Zakai Ziegler and win the nail, and that forces that defense to shrink. And Dalton Connect, man, he feels the steal so well with a follow-through. Good start in Knoxville. Number 6 team in the country comes rolling in, and you can just feel it. This one feels different.
Radford for 3. Got it! Taylor with the shake. Come on, bacon. Radford, he's been magnificent. Taylor has shot the lights out.
Buzz Williams has to come to half court to call timeout. That deserved a technical foul.
An impressive performance for Texas A&M.
2 weeks ago, 85-69. That's Jimmy Dykes. I'm Carl Revitz. Buzz Williams on the court. It's amazing before the game. A lot of conversation from the fans about Buzz on the court. You figure after that game, A&M waltzes into the NCAA tournament. That's not the case. Since that win, they've lost 3, and Tennessee's won all 3 of their games. Big game tonight and a great start for Taylor.
Yeah, Tennessee's been waiting on this one. This is one of those revenge games, not only from the Tennessee fans, but that Tennessee team. I watched film with them last night, and they were dialed in, not pleased at all with how they played at Texas A&M. They could not get the guards of the Aggies under control, and they got dominated on the glass, something for us to watch early in this ball game.
So for people at home, when you watch film with the team, are they watching the last time they played A&M? Is it the last game? What happens in a film session?
That's a great question. So it was probably 10 minutes of what happened the last time we played against the Aggies. And then they went through the scouting report detailed, showing 4 or 5 plays from the top 8 or 9 guys that Texas A&M puts on the floor. And then they went through their practice yesterday in terms of how we're covering the Aggies action. About an hour, a lot of film, and they were very focused.
Anderson Garcia into the game. He threw that pass, and it is deflected out of bounds. It'll be Tennessee basketball. A couple of other substitutions. A&M has Garcia, who's a rebound machine, on the floor. And they also have Coleman in the game, 15. Meantime, Tennessee, they bring in Tobe Awaka. And also Gainey is on the floor for them. He's gaining confidence with each game with his outside shot. He's 2, and White has it now. Josiah Jordan-James in and out.
You mentioned Garcia, number 11 for the Aggies. He had 9 offensive rebounds by himself against Tennessee.
Washington again had it halfway down, but it popped out. Their struggles continue from the floor early. Connect, rising, oh wow. Solo Washington went up to block it, and I think his foot came down on the head of his teammate Anderson Garcia.
Well, Connect did not read that second defender waiting on him. And he's an explosive big guard in transition. Rick Barnes is going to take him out and talk to him about it, because this was absolutely a force. Garcia's sitting there waiting on him, well in position before the plant foot hits the floor from Connect. And you're right, man. Garcia took a pretty good shot.
Washington's foot came right down on his head. Think about Solomon Washington. That's 6'7", 220 pounds of sneaker landing on you. Obaseki now into the game. He's 35 in maroon. Radford fires again and nearly banked one in. Chance to run out here for Tennessee. Bounce pass, Awaka. Offensive foul, says Doug Shouse.
I don't think the Aggies have taken a charge in the last month, and they have not taken 2 in this game. This one's a whole lot closer than the last one. But again, Awaka, that last foot is the plant foot, and that defender's outside the restricted arc. Not a popular call, but the right call.
He's been applying pressure throughout this first half.
Maybe the Aggies, Norman was better last year drawing charges. The rule has changed that for them this year, but they are still very capable of loading up to the ball defensively.
Good defense that time by Ziegler. Here's Garcia, the handoff to Carter. Met at the rim. He's got a chance for a 3-point play.
And what a forceful, strong finish by Carter. And a terrific find by Garcia. And Garcia's the one that makes this defense come to his jersey, and then Carter just goes right through Meshack, it's not easy to do. Look at this. That's a strong two-hand finish. If he goes with one, anything finesse gets rejected. Really well done by Jace Carter.
Last 5 games, 11 threes for Carter. And he missed the free throw. Stay at 2-point Tennessee lead. That foul was on Meshack.
How crafty is Zakai Ziegler. A couple of times a game, he will look for that play right there. He'll get in front of that trail defender and slam on the brakes. And that contact is responsible for that trail guy. And Double Z is, you know, you grow up like he did in the playgrounds in New York, you know all the tricks.
He's going out. Vescovi is in. And for the first time tonight, really the secret formula in the second half for Tennessee against Missouri. The two big guys, Owaka and Adu, on the floor at the same time. They were outstanding in the second half of that game.
Yeah, they combined for 20 points, 4 blocks, and 7 rebounds.
Washington flushes it. Ooh, did he get up quick?
He is a major athlete, Solo Washington, growing into his game. He's the second best driver they actually have behind Boots Radford, and he's all of 6'8".
All sorts of contact every time a player crosses half court. Washington is grimacing after getting hit, and he's now down on the floor. Buzz Williams is looking to see if he can go out. Looking, took a shot to the solar plexus rib area.
Ravi, neither coach right now pleased with the amount of contact that's gone on in this game uncalled. And that's just a hard hit. That's not incidental contact. And that's either a block on the defender or the offense creates the contact. Gainey, to me, kind of lowered his shoulder enough in a push off. But that's certainly something that cannot go uncalled in a game.
And a very veteran referee crew here with Shows, Lindsey, Baker. I mean, that has to be a call of some kind.
No doubt, yeah. And that's way too much contact. That would not fall under the incidental contact that occurs in basketball. Right there in the open floor. You officiate from the defense to the ball, and if you get your eyes on the defender here to try to read who creates the contact. And to me, it's Gainey, 2 in white.
Washington's going to be tended to at the end of his bench. Radford on the floor with Carter, Obaseki, Garcia, and Coleman.
If you're Tennessee, you have to keep the ball out of the paint when 23 has it. They couldn't do it in College Station. Can they do it tonight?
Obaseki doing a lot of dribbling. Gainey's on him. He's in the paint now. Hanging, got it to roll in.
Ravi, Buzz Williams is already turning this into an isolation game with his big physical guards driving through the Tennessee defense.
A&M started 1 of 7 there, 3 of their last 4. Ooh, there's a push off, and that time they got Gainey. Extended that right arm.
Gainey not handling the pressure so far in this game. He should have got called for the first one, but they climb right up into Gainey's jersey, and he just doesn't handle it at all. That's an automatic when you push off. This is what I'm talking about, the isolation. You said multiple dribbles, probably the 8th dribble for Obaseki to get to the front of the rim and elevate. Isolation game so far by Buzz Williams.
5 fouls for Tennessee, 4 A&M. And you mentioned the charges. Tennessee has been called for 3 of them. Back into the game, Taylor. Got 3 threes, fade away, no good. Tight rim on that side. They've had a handful go halfway down. Ooh, Ziegler, tricky dribble. Great pass, he found Owaka underneath all alone.
Ravi, the Aggies, they will swarm the ball, but in doing that, they will also ball watch. And man, if you can cut from that weak side, you can get a lot of good looks at the rim.
Here's a steal, here's Ziegler. Lays it up, and no, it's out. Meshack, the rebound, and the putback is good.
Yeah, just the pressure of Taylor from behind was enough to distract Ziegler.
So Ziegler got banged in the nose a little bit. What a wild start to this one. We're halfway through, 17-15 Tennessee. Taylor's got 3 threes for A&M. He's got 9 points. Great ball fake and an open three, and no good. Ziegler knowing one speed right now. He gets it to Vescovi wide open. That's too strong. You like the pace? Does it favor either team?
I think both teams are very comfortable with this. Buzz Williams knows his guards can get downhill in this game. And the faster they can put the ball pressure on Tennessee, the better their chances are at getting a paint touch.
Coach Radford's 0 for 3 in the game to start. Anderson Garcia, not a huge threat from out there. Cross court and a driving Radford. Spins. Ziegler picked his pocket.
What a rip by Ziegler.
Adu mismatch with Taylor on him, and it's off his foot. He's on the floor, loose. Here's A&M. Taylor lost it. And crowd and everybody else looking for a double dribble. Got a little hectic here. All of a sudden, 9:45 to go, 2-point Vol lead.
That is exactly what I expected. This is going to be a big-time brawl the entire night. Look at the guys watching the ball, man. All 5 guys are ball watching. Cut it from the backside like Awaka does. This thing is going to get heated more as we keep going.
You are hard to guard. What makes you hard to guard?
I would probably say my speed. My ability to shoot off the dribble. Just, create my own shot.
Wade Taylor from Texas A&M.
Ravi, like you said, his speed is what sets up his entire game. You got to respect his speed. You short closeout, and now he starts making threes on you. He's already made 3 in this game, and when he gets it going, his transition threes are as good and as deep as we have at the college level. He's a small guard, though, that was raised by a mom and dad that taught him to work every day at his craft. He's a 4.0 student. He's seeing a good rim right now.
Yeah.
And that's a concern for Rick Barnes early in this game.
He's over 500 points for the season. The junior at 6 foot, 175 from Dallas, Texas. Crazy last 5 minutes. We've had 9 combined turnovers. We didn't have any in the first 5 minutes.
And Dalton Connect has taken a seat since he's taken that charge. And a Tennessee offense now, that ball has to move. They can't rely on Dalton Connect in the isolation game.
Ziegler wide open, and that's a 3, and that's an easy one for him.
You can't rely on him, though, because he takes just as many threes as Connect and just a couple of percentage points below.
There is Dalton Connect sitting on the bench.
Both Connect and Double Z taking 6 3-point shots per game.
There's a switch, and that leaves Levesque open. Instead, it's Carter. His 3, too long. Big rebound in traffic by Awaka, and he gets fouled by Henry Coleman. Boy, did Toby Awaka get up for that board. Coleman's first.
A&M punked Tennessee on the offensive glass the last 2 times these teams met. And Tennessee did a lot of reverse pivot box offs. That's one thing they talked about in the film last night. To answer your question, no reverse pivot box offs will work against Texas A&M. You've got to front hit them and then find the ball. So hit first, then find the ball. That easy finesse reverse pivot, it will not work against a team as good as Aggies are on the glass.
Awaka, a big body. Ziegler in traffic, no good. Awaka is 6'8", 250 out of Hyde Park, New York. He had a career-high 18 in that win against Missouri. 18 and 10 rebounds. 2015, 8.5 to go first half. Carter drives into the body and kisses it off the window. He absorbed Adu.
Ravi, the second time that Carter has won the collision around that rim area and got that ball to drop. Okay, the Aggies are in a triangle, and 2 guys are chasing.
Adu free throw line, money.
Yeah, that is money. That's good recognition by Tennessee because they were trying to take out Ziegler. I believe Vescovi was the other guy, and Adu just flashed right to the nail and drops the jumper.
Recognize that immediately that they realized they're playing that triangle in 2?
It was easy to see because they were completely in full denial on Zakai Ziegler.
Out of bounds, it'll be Tennessee basketball. Timeout on the floor as Dalton Connect and Jonas Adu re-enter the game. 22-17, huge game for both. A&M currently in the first out. All right, KC, thank you, Seth. See you guys at the half. And Jimmy, here you go. This is why this is such a big game tonight.
Well, it is. I disagree with Joe Lunardi. I would put Tennessee right now as the 4th #1 seed over Arizona. Arizona, to me, Ravi, they had the edge in non-conference play. Tennessee has the edge from January 1 till now. And Arizona's in a league that's going to have 2, maybe 3 NCAA tournament teams. The SEC is going to have somewhere around that 8 mark, possibly 9. I just, what I see right now is a Tennessee team that is every bit as good as anyone else involved in that conversation between Arizona, North Carolina, Tennessee. Those are the 3 teams that will fight for that 4th #1 spot.
Dalton Connect back in the game. They dump it down to Adu, and it is picked off. Josiah Jordan-James tried a little pocket pass, and it got deflected away.
Think about this. The Aggies have missed 14 shots in this game. They've only gotten 2 offensive rebounds. Make that their 3rd one.
Yes, Coleman, and he threw it up. He got fouled. Taylor missed that 3. But Coleman will go to the line to shoot a couple. The senior out of Richmond, Virginia. James picks up his 1st. There's Buzz. He's in his 5th year. On the other side, Rick Barnes. A win tonight would give him 800. He would become the 15th to ever do it. You see Calipari, the active head coach, with more. And what a win Coach Cal got today as J.P. Estrella checks in for Rick Barnes. Josiah Jordan-James out. Still looking for that ring. And as you just pointed out, they're in the conversation for a 1 seed. They're certainly in a conversation for the national championship.
Well, right now they got their eyes on an SEC title, and it's right there in front of them. Think about this. Tennessee, their next 5 games counting tonight are against teams that are projected in the NCAA tournament. And to my point, Arizona doesn't have a team left on their schedule projected in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, we'll talk much more, too, about the gauntlet that Tennessee has. Their last 5 games, including tonight. That is a Connect open 3, no good. Estrella got his hands on it, but give Anderson Garcia the rebound.
And you are rolling the dice if you let Dalton Connect fill from behind for an open 3.
They left Garcia open. He's no good. They're struggling from outside. Other than Taylor, no one's able to find the bottom. Adu hesitated for a second. That got a little awkward. Found himself shooting off his opposite foot with his left hand. Washington, good sign, back in the game. And ball faking. Ooh, tough bounce pass to get it through Connect. Another 3 missed. Loose ball on the floor. It's Connect. And here comes Vescovy. He missed a layup too. Good job by Garcia. He forced Vescovy the other way, and he missed a layup.
Yeah, just took away the right side of the rim by Vescovy and forced him to the opposite side. There's not enough spin on that ball to get it back.
A&M is 3 of 15 from 3. Taylor kick. Carter will try again. Got it.
Yeah, they have made Tennessee shrink to the ball. Those are shrink 3s, good clean looks that the Aggies are getting so far in this game.
Tennessee's missed a couple right at the rim. One thing A&M does, they defend at the rim as well as anybody in the country. Connect will try again with a man in his face. That's off to the right.
Yeah, to your point about Texas A&M, they're a small team, but they always have a plug guy right in front of the rim. They protect the nail in the rim better than anybody else in this league.
Careful, Carter. That's off to the right. He was wide open. We're going to get a foul on Solo Washington, who was holding Dalton Connect. 5:10 to go. Tennessee leading by 1. Tomorrow, Liz Kitley, number 8, Virginia Tech, will host North Carolina. That's at 2 Eastern time on the ACC network. And the College Game Day crew will tip off our coverage from Blacksburg at 11 a.m. on ESPN. The Hokies, they were victorious. Remember, in that first meeting, Kitley had a double-double of 15 points, 15 rebounds. Adu deep. Yes, a little jump hook with the left.
And he's really good with that left paw. I mean, that's the strength of Adu as a 7-footer. Right around that restricted area and getting to his right shoulder, left paw finish.
Carter feeling it. Jace Carter, and he has become the triple threat on this team with Radford and Taylor. Jace Carter, and again, last 5 games, Jimmy, he's had 11 threes, and he's got 2 tonight.
Yeah, that was the 5th one for the Aggies. You got to guard your 3, man. It's hard to keep him out of the paint. Yeah, Tennessee is coming off shooters right now. And the Aggies are making them pay. Jace Carter right here. That's not a bullet pass. That's a pretty soft pass, and Connect is just not as urgent at all recovering to Jace Carter. A little bit of a paint touch, and you force a full body help out of Vescovy, and now that ball starts getting sprayed around. It's a good offensive start for Texas A&M.
Sure is. And Carter's having a terrific start. He averages just over 7. He's got 10 tonight. Hayden Hefner, we saw him against Arkansas knock down a couple of threes. He's had a real hard time this year knocking them down, but that's his specialty. He's into the game wearing 2 in maroon and white. Got it. There's Jordan James.
What I say, got it. That Nash dribble, Ziegler keeping it alive from behind the glass. A good job by Josiah Jordan James to get in his eyesight.
Bradford goes downhill. That's when he's at his best, and there was a block there. No foul. Hefner, that's way off to the left. Loose ball out of bounds, and it will be A&M basketball. Timeout on the floor. Tennessee leading A&M. The Vols with a win tonight vault into first place in the SEC.
Something's hard to hear in here. I think you're talking about Tennessee's defense, though, because the strength of the Aggies, as you know, they are downhill driving dudes. So you play the percentages. The Aggies come in making 6 threes per game. So you choke off that lane and see if they can make enough jump shots in this building to beat you. So far tonight, they're checking the box, yes.
19 three-point attempts, 10 more than Tennessee's 9. Taylor with 3. Hefner. Too strong, and an easy rebound for Adu. Last 3.5 minutes could be critical here in this first half. It's only a 2-point game. Gainey finds Connect. They're looking for Adu. He's got Hefner on him. And now they trap him in the corner. And a reach there. It looked like Taylor came down with his left arm, Jimmy.
Well, they're going to get all on top of Connect, especially when he dribbles to that dead corner. And not afraid to come off of guys as Buzz Williams. Trap the ball, load up heavy to the ball side, and Connect luckily got bailed out with a foul.
That's Taylor's second. They're in the bonus, so 101 for a 75% free throw shooter. Connect comes up way short. Now he's got a chance for 2. Instead, he dumped it down to Adu, who had it and lost it.
And Connect just not on his game right now. He forced to drive. He's a little hesitant on his jump shot.
Radford 3. No good. Boy, have they been tough from 3 tonight. A&M 5 of 21. Connect to the hole. No, Adu, yes. All the A&M players were looking for a goaltending.
The value of a guy that can drive it and get it on the glass, especially when Adu is sitting on that weak side. He finds the front of the rim.
A&M spread out on the floor. Nobody near the paint. Garcia camps out underneath, one of the great offensive rebounders. Boy, Hefner just lost it. No, we're going to have Shouse with the whistle. Wave off the basket, foul on Henry Coleman. He picks up his second for A&M.
I think Coleman gets called for the push-off. Watch Connect right here. That boom, that long first stride is so fast, and Adu does a good job of getting on the inside of Coleman. Ravi, if you can't guard the ball, you can't guard the glass. It goes both ways in this game right now, and that's a great example of it.
So Dalton Connect, who was, for a period of time, the front runner for SEC Player of the Year. He's been joined by some others, averaging 24.4 in SEC play. And he missed his last free throw, and that one looked a lot better.
Well, he has the lead right now, but that lead has shrunk a little bit in the last couple of weeks.
Reminder, big Monday, Miami will take on North Carolina, the Heels. Baylor and TCU at 9 Eastern time Monday on ESPN. Carolina a win today, even though Davis was, what, 1 for 14?
1 for 14.
Yeah,
Armando Bacot, though, got him another double-double.
Lead is grown to 6 for Tennessee. A&M has gone 240 without a point. Carter in double figures. He's coming out top, trying to set a screen. And then roll. He's got 10. And with Connect on him, 5 on the shot clock. Carter. That did hit the rim. And a rebound, Radford. They'll get a fresh shot clock.
No one better in college ball going early to the glass than Texas A&M. On the second bounce of the drive, man, those guys are fighting for offensive rebound position.
There goes Radford to the hole. He throws it up, and he's got a chance for 3.
How can a left-hander on the right side of the floor drive the ball right through the elbow? Rick Barnes asking the same question. Tennessee had no answer for this kid in College Station. Right there's what I'm talking about. He's on the right side, and you allow him to come through that right elbow, and it is money once he gets to the logo. He's one of the more physical finishers, Ravi, and drivers that we have, not just in this league, but in college basketball.
Amazing, too, the vision. He goes into the forest amongst all those trees, and then all of a sudden there's a little light there, and he's able to extend that arm, make the three-point play. And Boots Radford now is on the board. Those were his first 3 of the night. It felt like a big bucket, Jimmy. They had increased the lead to 6. There wasn't much happening. They'll dump it down low. That's an alley-oop, actually, to Adu.
What a pass, though, from Ziegler. Just eye-to-eye contact with Adu. He says, I'm coming at you up top. He has tremendous set of paws Adu does around the rim.
They get it low to Solo Washington. One-on-one with Adu. He blocked it. I should say that's Josiah Jordan-James with the block. Ziegler, Connect. Foul. On his way up, he'll shoot 2.
So I'm talking about the eye contact between Zakai Ziegler and Adu. And this is not a set play. This is just making a play. And once they find each other right there, phenomenal job by Ziegler as a small guard to get that thing up top. And this is the set of paws I'm talking about with Adu. He has really developed, Ravi, in that area of his game. Tennessee's so good in their offseason with heavy ball work and tennis balls with those big guys. And it has really shown in the development of this kid.
And on the other end, what a terrific block. Washington went with a fadeaway. And Josiah Jordan-James was all over it. Connect trying to pick up some points at the free throw line, knocks down another.
His balance as a shooter, Connect, is as good as you're going to see. On this free throw attempt, you can see that he is absolutely in control of his body, straight up, straight down. As a jump shooter, he's always landing in the same spot that he takes off from, and one of the most feared guys offensively in college basketball right now.
Well, Basicki picked up his second. Connect knocks that down, and Dalton Connect will head to the bench here for the last 40 seconds. Stay out of the window of getting another foul called against him. He's into double figures with 10.
Yeah, that and Rick Barnes goes with his best defensive squad right now to try to get a defensive closeout.
Taylor came out like a house of fire, knocking down 3 threes. He's been quiet since. Now he pulls up. That one is way off. Loose ball, and they will have a chance here for a final shot. And they look like they will take that timeout, exactly.
And get Dalton Connect back in. And maybe even Ziegler both. That's exactly who Rick Barnes sends to the scorer's table.
We'll see the last 12.3 when we come back. You are watching the SEC on ESPN with Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch, our producer Scott Matthews, director tonight, the great Scott Johnson in the house. College basketball here at Rocky Top. Tennessee with the win would move into a tie in first place with Alabama, a team they beat badly. A&M currently on Lenardi's first 4 out Jimmy will unveil the jet. I've heard it's being fueled right now, and we'll see that in the second half, and we'll see where A&M, if they're on it.
I think A&M's going to show zone here. What they do, they'll show zone. They're just switching everything to disrupt that scoring play that Rick Barnes just went to.
Ziegler will dribble all the way to the corner. Vescovy three. Got it! And that will end the half. Great play. Ziegler on the baseline found Vescovy, who was looking for a foul. Instead, it's a three-point play.
Well, Ziegler just reads what's going on the floor. Whether it's man or zone, if he can get downhill on that left side in that NBA alley, he knows that backside's going to be filled in a big-time backside bomb, and he did get hit.
Sure
absolutely. A huge momentum play for the Volunteers.
It was, and now the lead is 10 as we go to break. A&M ends the half 1 of 9. Tennessee 5 of 6. KC, that's the story as the Jeep halftime report starts.
Indeed it is, Ravi and Jonas Adu.
With Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch, the SEC on ESPN. At the half, Tennessee 37, A&M 27. They used a 13-3 run to close it. Adu in double figures, Carter in double figures. Wade Taylor had 3 threes in the first 5 minutes for 9 points. He still has 9 points. That's Jimmy Dykes right there. I'm Carl Ravitch, and welcome again. You spent time with him in film session. We were at the shoot-arounds. What did Tennessee want to do, and what were they able to get this lead?
Tennessee wanted them to see if A&M could make enough jump shots to beat them, and that's exactly what their defense have done. A good job of protecting the paint. As a result, the Aggies have taken 22 threes. Ravi, that's not their strength. I love the last play call by Rick Barnes. He goes to a horn set up top. And because the Aggies are over-prone to overhelp, they're going to dive Adu out of the horn set, pop connect. But the guy in the far corner, Vescovy, is where this ball is going to go to. Texas A&M, they will run to the ball. Look again, they all ball watch. They lose track of Vescovy on the weak side. He does also get hit. Man, that's a big-time shot to close it out. Here it is again. Dive Adu, drive the alley, and find Vescovy on the backside. That play was designed to take A&M out of what they do best, which is run to the ball, make them pay for overloading on the ball side.
Vescovy had been 0 for 3 before he hit that shot. Pretty balanced scoring for Tennessee. And again, 19 points out of Carter and Taylor for A&M. Let's see what the second half brings. Radford starts with Carter, and will Taylor start the second half like he did the first? No. Taylor misses a 3.
Think about that's the 23rd three-point attempt by Texas A&M in this game.
They started 3 for 4, and since 2 of 19, that's an easy bucket there for Adu with the left in the paint.
He makes something really hard look really easy, does Adu.
Yes.
The hours and hours. And that's such an unblockable shot. It goes back to Rick Barnes and Kevin Durant, teaching those guys to shoot that high release. Cannot get to his ball.
First 4 minutes, huge in this second half, and there's a steal by Vescovy.
That's a foul. It wasn't in the first half, but it is to start the second half.
He created that contact, but they're going to get solo Washington, a 9-0 Tennessee run.
Ravi, watch how high this ball is released by Adu. He's a 7-footer, but he's going to shoot this thing at the top of his apex and his jump. And Rick Barnes over the years has been as good as anybody teaching guys to get that ball up quick and get it up high with a flick of the wrist. Really well done by Adu.
Washington's second foul. Really good save by Vescovy. They'll kick it, and Josiah Jordan-James too strong. What a rip by Anderson Garcia. Does it as well as anyone in the country.
Yeah, Anderson Garcia has more offensive rebounds now in the year than Zach Edey. He's averaging 4.65 to Edey's 4.5.
There's Radford. We saw that at the end of the half, and he's able to get it to the rim. Here's Ziegler. Vescovy. Count it.
Ravi, it's money, man. Anytime in transition, when you reverse the ball that quickly from 1/3 to the other, you're going to get a good look or play off of a closeout.
That feels like it's danger time here for A&M. Currently, Lenardi has him on the first 4 out list. What an opportunity here with a quad 1 opportunity for Texas A&M. Radford, ooh, needed it right over Adu.
You can live with that, though, if you're Tennessee. You're playing the percentages. You're keeping the ball out of the paint, and you're keeping Texas A&M off that free throw line.
Connect, two open, knocked it down. Oh boy, the last two trips, two guys, good shooters, wide open.
What a find though by Ziegler, knowing the entire time where he was going to go with the ball. He has a great feel as a point guard where his shooters are.
That's going to be disruptive over there. Radford has it. He'll fire again. That's way off, and Ziegler has it. Watch it. Adu! Oh, boy! Aggressive to the hole. 15-point lead for the Vols. Timeout, A&M.
If you're going to win a national championship, you got to be able to hold your own on the inside as a post player. There's too many good ones out there, and Jonas Adu can play with anyone out there. So aggressive. Again, his strength is something you got to deal with. Man, is he a good, forceful, Ravi in transition defense like the Aggies are in on this play. The primary purpose, well, first of all, we're going to go to a shooter here. Well, watch this defender come off of Connect. Man, there's not a better shooter in the college game. And you come off of him this deep, that's just easy money for Ziegler. There's no reason, because you've already got help defenders. And right here, man, in transition defense, the nail right here has got to be protected. And when it's not, and you allow this guy to run right through the nail, you're in trouble. And that's exactly what Adu does. He runs right through the nail to the front of the rim. There's no way Texas A&M should allow that to happen. That nail in the front of the rim is the most important thing to have defenders in transition defense.
And we talked about the first 4 minutes being critical. A 10-point halftime lead has grown to 15. And all the momentum right now here at Rocky Top, it's on the side of the Volunteers. So Wynn moves them into a first-place tie with Alabama. They're going to get Adu with his hands on Levesque. About the development of Jonas Adu since we've been watching him over the last couple of years.
Well, he stayed with it. He stayed on his own path. He hasn't been pulled away from Rick Barnes' hard coaching. And I think he's a mentally tough kid. And Ravi, no one's born mentally tough. It's something that's earned and learned. And you play for Rick Barnes, you grow in that area. And that's exactly what Zero and White has done over his last 3 years.
Oh, Taylor threw it into row 2. Souvenir City here.
It was like baseball and we could keep it. Wouldn't that be cool?
It'd be great. Ziegler's been terrific tonight with his assist and turnover ratio. Connect, wide open, no good. Missed at the rim, and Adu rips it.
How about Adu to protect the rim, not foul, and secure the miss? Just to sprint the floor and be there to make the play is impressive.
Great pass. He finds Adu, who is able to get it over the rim.
Ravi, a 7-footer, takes a hit, but it doesn't knock him off of the path he wants to stay on. You won't find a better finish for a big guy in a collision than what we just saw.
9 assists in the game for Ziegler. He's over 400 career. It's a 17-point lead. Carter, the high arcer, no good, and an easy board for Connect. Vescovy. Oh boy, he took a lot of steps, then he threw it off the rim. It had to be a travel.
A lot, as in 3?
3, 4, 4.5. Then he's going to get a foul on the backside.
Appreciate this play by Jonas Adu, a 7-footer. He's going to take a pretty big hit at the rim. Watch this collision, but it doesn't knock him off of his path. There's the hit, boom, and as he's going down, he releases the ball. Big time finish by Jonas Adu. By the way, we're talking the national jet right now. The #1 seeds to me, UConn, Houston, Purdue, and Tennessee. And I said Tennessee because of the overall strength of the SEC that they're playing in, greater than Arizona. Nevada, Seton Hall, Gonzaga, and Texas A&M are the last 4 that I'm putting on the plane right now, the last 4 teams that would be in. Big time opportunity for the Aggies tonight. Looks like they're going to go by the wayside. But think about this. They still have 6 quad 1 wins, does Texas A&M. No team has ever missed the field with 6 quad 1 wins.
Well, they've missed their mark lately. Since it was tied at 24, Tennessee's outscored them 25-8. Obaseki drives. No. Doug Shaw says it's on the floor, so the basket will not count. Second foul on Josiah Jordan-James. For A&M, you see their net 49, and to Jimmy's point, 6 quad 1 wins. They're part of a very small group with that many quad 1 wins.
Well, they are, and they got 3 quad 3 losses. One of those could become a quad 2. Arkansas is starting to play better. I'm very intrigued by the fact that there's a lot of teams that have 2 or 3 quad 1 wins that are easily in the field, and Texas A&M with 6. I think it'll be very difficult to keep them out at the end of the day.
Milwaukee double teamed. Obaseki comes away with it. They need points, they need stops. That's going to be a block. Wow. Coleman ran right over Josiah Jordan-James. They call it on the Volunteers.
Again, you're reading the plant foot, and the defender has to be set before that last plant foot goes down. Josiah Jordan-James is legal, and that left foot, to me, he's set before that left foot goes down, and that could have easily been the 3rd charge call in this game. You can go weeks without seeing a charge call in college basketball this year.
Instead, it was the 3rd foul on Josiah Jordan-James. Nearly was an air ball. Grazed the rim. Take a look at our NBA showcase double dip. Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks square off against Tyrese Maxey and the Philadelphia 76ers. KD and the Suns get LeBron and the Lakers. Our coverage tips off with NBA Countdown at 12:30 Eastern. That is the ABC Sunday showcase doubleheader. And don't forget, KD, of course, played and starred for Rick Barnes when he was at Texas. He was also Dalton Connect's favorite player growing up. Ziegler, short. Awaka, inside rebound, no, and he will go to the line to shoot a couple.
Awaka is actually the best offensive rebounder percentage-wise in college basketball. Not listed because of the limited minutes that he plays, but he rebounds the ball at a higher rate than anybody else on the offensive end.
Last game against Missouri when he had 18, Jimmy, that was the first time that he has led the team in scoring. He was 6 of 8 from the field. He missed just 1 free throw of the 7 that he took. He missed the first one here tonight. Hyde Park, New York. And just a very, very physical presence. And again, Barnes, who did this in the second half, has Awaka and Adu on the floor at the same time. $17-point cushion. Trying to exact some revenge from the loss 2 weeks ago. And there's a turnover. Bounce pass, Adu, nail, no, follow. It looked like Carter may have tweaked his ankle chasing that ball down as he's hobbling in that corner.
I mean, Tennessee's defense is no joke. And they are putting...
Whoa, there's a steal, Jimmy. You're talking about it.
No joke at both ends. I talked about how crafty and sneaky he is. Kai Ziegler grew up playing on the concrete in Bronx, New York. He is a survivor, a no-star guy with a 5-star heart out of high school.
Yeah, Taylor, a prayer, no good. Carter had it eaten by Awaka. Coleman in traffic follows it up. You see Reed Shepherd do that a lot for Kentucky. Ziegler, very similar, sneaky on defense.
They see the game 1 pass, sometimes 2 ahead of everybody else.
Ziegler no good there. Adu the rebound. Out of bounds off Awaka.
Watch the Kai Ziegler right here. He's just going to kind of bait it, look like he's not interested, then boom, right there at the last second, steps in front of it, knew the entire time. Very casual with his feet, but intense with his eyes and his thoughts. Just eats it up. He He changed the DNA of a very tough Tennessee team when he got here. It's not easy to do. He made them tougher.
Basicki, tough drive in traffic.
A lot of time left in this game. And Tennessee's got to lock in defensively, continue, and to do it without fouling. That's another way the Aggies can find their way back in this game.
Down to 15. Washington nearly fell down. Here's Adu. He's going again. Throws it up, and he will end up shooting two. The basket does not go. Third foul on Obaseki. Final regular season Thursday women's basketball doubleheader on the SEC network. Features these two schools, A&M and Tennessee at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, and then undefeated South Carolina squares off against Arkansas. Got a chance to see the LSU women out here on this floor practicing earlier today. Chance to talk with Kim Mulkey.
Well, they play the Tennessee Lady Vols tomorrow.
Yep.
And I was talking with Kim Mulkey. The Lady Vols have had an off week. They've had a bye week since last weekend, and LSU, this will be their third game tomorrow in 7 days. That's a really tough schedule break for LSU now on the road. Kim was telling me that this will be their 4th game this year in conference play, playing a team coming off of a bye. Man, the things that coaches dial in on and talk about, and sometimes rightfully so.
Yeah, noon Eastern, ESPN tomorrow. 15-point lead. Roll by Washington. Wow, for a while he was in the air.
I was been waiting for Texas A&M to go to their empty corner. Naked roll action for Solo or Coleman, and they just got it on Tennessee.
All right, 13-point lead. 6-0 A&M run. They had Adu down low. Awaka pulls up. Too strong.
Ravi, every Aggie defender was in the paint, and it still couldn't take away the strength of Awaka.
How much can an 18-point game do for one's confidence?
Oh, tremendous. He's a highly intelligent kid. Awaka is recruited by all the Ivy League schools. An adamant reader. But he is all about strength. This empty corner action for Texas A&M, Ravi. They're going to set a ball screen. This is the corner right here, though, that you're zeroing in on. There's no help defense there. And that ball screen is set. Look at that, man. The defense is just not there on the ball side, or the weak side is also late rotating over. Good action by Texas A&M.
Carter got called for the push-off down the other end. Tennessee takes over. Awaka camped out, and Meshack baseline drive. No! Adu no on the follow. And Coleman had it, and there's going to be a foul. They'll call that against Tobe Awaka. Ooh, Adu wants another chance at that, Jimmy. Close to a put-back flush. We'll take a timeout. Under 12 to go. 54-39. Volunteers.
Agree with him. Somehow my text messages end up on the games. No more court storming, period. That was absolutely ridiculous. There should be a memo sent from the NCAA on Monday banning court storming in college basketball. There's no place for it, especially after today with Filipowski. We hope he's okay. If you can't cover the middle ball screens, you are in trouble in March. And that's, boy, Houston is so good at that today. And an offensive eruption by Kentucky. And they are a legitimate title contender.
When they play like that, for sure.
Absolutely. This SEC race, it's going to go down to that last Saturday, most likely. All 15 rounds to determine the champion this year.
Yeah, out of timeout. They set up Carter for a three. He can't get it to go. There's a good pickoff by Garcia on a pass from Adu, and that results in a foul on Adu.
A lot of time left in this game. Now the 16th foul on Tennessee. The next one, the Aggies will be in the bonus to finish the game.
Third foul on Jonas Adu. Yeah, if you didn't see it, Kyle Filipowski hurt himself when Duke was walking off the court and Wake Forest fans stormed the court. Much more on that on SportsCenter coming up tonight, and the extent of any injury. The reports early were ankle, then there was some question about a knee, but again, ESPN.com and SportsCenter for more. Here's what it looked like. Filipowski is the big guy, 30 in blue, and here comes the crowd. He got clipped right there on the ankle, and then he got banged into again. His teammates rushed onto the floor to help him. John Shire was angry, to say the least, following the game.
It just cannot happen anymore. You can't have security in place and talk about getting an opposing team off. No more court storms. Has to be mandated.
Give and go from Connect and Ziegler, and Connect connects for another three.
Ravi, you put such a high penalty price on schools to get their attention about roping off student sections and getting serious about it. That's how you stop it.
Let the players, the coaches, everyone get off the floor. You want to go spend time on a court, do it after everybody's off. Josiah Jordan-James pull-up is way too strong. He had nowhere to go in traffic. He lost it. An 18-point lead at A&M, in danger of losing their 4th in a row and not getting back on defense.
I see the pass goggles from Zakai Ziegler, absolutely. Man, the vision of this little kid. He sees under defenders in transition as well as you can for a small kid.
And Rick Barnes gives himself a little clap. The crowd on his feet. 11 assists in the game for Ziegler and the largest lead of the night for the Volunteers.
This crowd and this Tennessee team has been waiting for 2 weeks to get back at Texas A&M. They got it handed to him in College Station. Watch Zakai Ziegler. His eyes are always up. He's seen through people right here, man. His vision down the floor is as good as you're going to find. And the Aggies just, again, they don't cover up the nail. They don't cover up the front of the rim. And watch Zakai Ziegler after he makes the pass. He knows exactly what Meshack can be as an athlete. And Zakai Ziegler with the pass goggles walking to the other end.
How about 11 assists, no turnovers for Zakai Ziegler?
A lot of things I love about Double Z, but 2 weeks ago, Rick Barnes challenged his point guard and said, I can't be the guy that's always fixing the problems. A point guard has to fix the problems a lot of times, Ravi, in the game before the coach has to. And he challenged Ziegler. He said, I don't want you coming to the huddle anymore when we're down saying, hey, we're fine, we're fine. Yep. We're not fine. Getting somebody's grill. And Zakai Ziegler has ran with those instructions from Rick Barnes.
I'd say this too about Barnes and his relationship with his point guards over the years. He probably works them harder than any other guys on the floor, and they end up respecting and loving him when they leave.
You know, that's the reason why he's going to rack up his 800th win right now with 10 minutes to go. It all starts with that point guard play, and he's known it over the years.
Coleman way short there. A 7-0 run the last 2 minutes for Tennessee. A win moves them into a tie for first place in the SEC with Alabama, who got raced today by Kentucky. Connect hard, and he had some double team on him. Jace Carter picks up the foul. Jimmy, the SEC standings look like this. Alabama is 11-3. Tennessee, with a win tonight, will move to 11-3. Auburn comes here next week for a huge game. And you mentioned Auburn coming here next week. Tennessee has 4 huge games to finish their SEC schedule.
Well, counting tonight, if you consider A&M to be the last team in the NCAA tournament, their next 4 games are all against teams that are solidly in the NCAA tournament. And if they're somehow to manage through those things and win 3 out of those next 4, I think they're a 1 seed. I have them up there tonight in my jet just because I gave Arizona the edge over Tennessee in non-conference, but not since January 1. It'd be very difficult, I think, to have Tennessee not have that 4th #1 seed right now, in my eyes.
Double team. Radford's got nowhere to go. Finally flips it to Henry Coleman. He gets hit. So you look back at that schedule, assuming they win tonight. 4-1, 3-2, 5-0. What do you think has to happen to get them a?
Ravi, it could go anywhere. This league is so rugged and so tough.
But for a 1 seed,
I think 3 out of those 4 would do it.
3 out of 4. Okay.
3 out of those 4 would do it. All those teams, they're all ranked in the top 25. He's going to have to go on the road for a couple of them. He's going to have to face a game day, like a lot of challenges on that schedule. But man, that's exactly what you want right now. If you're Tennessee, you're fighting to be as high of a seed as you can, and they are right there in the fight for a 1 seed. Absolutely they are.
So 4-1 over the last 5, you said, just about assures them of a 1 seed.
I would think they'd be right there, absolutely. I mean, Arizona doesn't have the strength of schedule to play with going forward. They got a schedule that's not going to reward them nearly as much as what Tennessee could.
And how much trouble is A&M in? We just saw them lose to Arkansas, and this is another offensive show in which they're being shut down. Their shooting has not been good. Taylor and Radford, after Taylor scored his 9 points in the first 4 minutes, he hasn't scored again yet.
Yeah, all of those are just very difficult teams. Ole Miss fighting for their NCAA tournament life right now, probably on the outside looking in. Mississippi State's an NCAA team. We know South Carolina is, at Georgia. And all those games right now in this league is just such an unforgiving league this year. And Tennessee's defense and their work on the glass. The Aggies came in getting 40% on the offensive glass. They've been held to 24% on the offensive glass tonight.
Both teams are in the bonus with 9.5 to play. Taylor rolls. Garcia, nice dish to Coleman, and great patience to lay it up and in.
Really good feel by Anderson Garcia. Delay the ball, delay of game on the ball.
Yeah, warning, yep. He grabbed it after it went through and kind of rolled it towards midcourt.
This will get the crowd going.
Alley-oop. Connect. Did his best to catch it and then reorganize, but he couldn't finish.
It looked like Connect actually cut behind the backboard. You want to be in front of that backboard on those lob plays.
Most of the time, being in front is going to help you.
It would seem. I've never had that play call for me. If I'm making a cut to get a lob, I'm going to try to cut in front of the backboard.
They designed that. We'd like to start you behind the backboard. Stay there. See if you can then somehow catch it and come out from behind and lay it up and in.
I had some talks with some NBA player personnel folks this past week about Dalton Connect, and one of the first questions they asked, I was a scout for a couple of years in that league, is what's inside of you? And they asked me about Dalton Connect, and I said there's 3 ways to look at a kid in basketball. Does he like it, does he love it, or is he addicted to it? And he is the third one. He is absolutely addicted to the game of ball and the hard work that you have to put in. He's going to be a lottery pick. Just not sure how high he will go, but he's an NBA 2 guard waiting to happen.
Ziegler bounces it to a cutting. Josiah Jordan James.
The Aggies wanted no part of that cut by Josiah Jordan James, kind of bailed out of the way.
Another assist. He's got a dozen now in the game. Zakai Ziegler. Radford 3. Down and back out. Northeastern Junior College, Northern Colorado. That's where Dalton Connect was last year. And Ziegler having all sorts of fun just dribbling around the paint, waiting for a man to get open. They get it low to Owaka. Can't get it to go. And Taylor, it's out of bounds off Meshack's foot.
Dalton Connect has only taken 10 shots in this game. He's got 17 points. 6 out of 7 from the free throw line. The versatility of this kid, a severe threat in conversion offense with his speed. Makes hard guarded shots because he's 6'6". His balance off the floor and back onto the floor as good as you're going to find in a college game. Hard to guard. Dalton Connect.
Casey, thank you. And you can see that first 4 out. Kevin mentioned it, Joe Lenardi. Where Utah is, A&M certainly going to keep an eye, you'd think, on that game coming up on their flight home from Knoxville. They're going to be licking their wounds, man. 64-42 here with 7:40 to go. Be their 4th consecutive loss. They have not won since they beat Tennessee a couple of weeks ago. And that schedule we showed you is not easy.
Pretty sure Butler and Villanova both losing as well, so A&M's going to have to win some games, but also get some breaks with guys around him on the back of that plane losing as well.
Give Tennessee's defense a lot of credit tonight. They clamped down. The offensive rebounds they were concerned about just have not been there. They've done a terrific job keeping A&M off the offensive glass.
Yeah, Wake Forest probably the biggest winner today on those teams that are on the bubble coming in to start Saturday.
Kept alive by Adu. Meshack, you try, too strong. Out of bounds, it'll stick with Tennessee. I think the greatest kind of enigma in the SEC has been Kentucky, because when they play like they did today, in your text, they are a title contender. But you are what your record says you are, and there's just been an inconsistency. You see that over the next 3 or 4 games, you can believe, right? Boy, Connect, there's some strong balance as he banks it in. What do you think about Kentucky?
I think there's watch it. There's my guy again.
Ziegler again. Reverse! Wow!
Man, can he make you look bad in a hurry? He can embarrass you.
And he is having a blast, Jimmy.
He is a game changer, this little kid.
You think about it, torn ACL. Slow start this year as he recovered. Ooh, the alley-oop a little too strong for Adu. But when he is, and he is closer to 100% now than he's been all year, game changer. Radford back-to-back threes won't be there. Connect, watch it. He's got Adu. Oh, there you go. Connect and Adu. All balls tonight. Blowout City, timeout A&M, and the top comes off, Rocky Top.
They, the Tennessee Vols, have been waiting for this night for 2 weeks. They did not like how they played at College Station. They weren't happy with Buzz Williams getting it, should have been teed up at the end, and that's what I'm talking about with Ziegler. He is so sneaky, man. His eyes are constantly engaged in the game. Up, under, to find the backside. What a tough little cover. And there's Connect. His open floor ability as a ball handler is also something that has the eyes of NBA scouts salivating over this kid. He's such a multi-dimensional offensive threat. Just doing heavy work are the Vols. That's quite a stat line, 9, 7, and 12. He could get a triple-double, right?
He could, and last time we checked, Zakai Ziegler didn't have any turnovers. It's still a 0 in the turnover column. That's a perfect game.
Well, you play your toughest guys in February, and Zakai Ziegler is going to be a heavy minute guy because of there's not a tougher kid on this Tennessee team than Zakai Ziegler. And you put your tough guys on the floor to close out games, Rabbi, but certainly in the month of February and March, those guys get heavy minutes. This kid's just been a one-man wrecking crew. He's made Texas A&M look bad individually on a couple of plays, one in the first half and one in the second, to your point. He plays the game with a lot of joy.
And you know, we've told the story before, but for people first time, back in New York when his mother's home had a fire, she moved here, but this community rallied around Zakai Ziegler and donated a whole bunch of funds to help get her back on her feet. He is part of this community, and they have embraced him. And you can see the way he's playing and his reactions to the crowd, how much he appreciates and loves them. Here's the resume of Zakai Ziegler.
Well, he has embraced the leadership role in this team. I was blown away last night watching film, and there was something on the screen that wasn't right, and Zakai Ziegler stopped and said, Coach, that's not right. We're not full body helping on that guy. He's a bluff and stay guy. That's some really detailed stuff, as Zakai Ziegler has complete command how Tennessee's supposed to play the game on both ends. That moment really jumped out at me last night watching film with Tennessee.
Bam! So like a layup for Connect, and they are having so much fun tonight at the expense of the Aggies. A bad, bad night for A&M.
That full body help and gap protection has just throttled Texas A&M time and time again, having to settle for jump shots instead of getting downhill, which is their strength, getting to the free throw line. A defensive clinic by the Vols.
It has been. 7 of 24, shooting 29% this half. In the game, they are 17 of 60 and 7 of 32 from 3. And that is a layup. It's not a 3, it's a layup for Connect. He's got 24. 30-point bulge. Radford will try again. That's too short. Tipped out to Meshack.
Ravi, what I mean, it's not been hand help. They're not reaching in the gaps. It's full body protection by Tennessee this entire game.
Is there a formula to knock out A&M that Arkansas and Tennessee have shown?
Yes. You load up to the ball and you keep Boots Radford and Wade Taylor from driving downhill. It's not easy to do, but if you do, you can take them out.
We'll take a timeout, Jimmy. A 13-3 Tennessee run, the last 4 and a hook.
Yeah, Dalton Connect now up to 24 points. And he's got some craftiness about him as well. They do a little floppy action. He just straightens it out. You can go off of either side as a shooter. That's what floppy is described as. And making a scoring violent cut is 3 in white. Rocky Top is rolling.
KC, thank you. Shout out to Seth Greenberg, the College Game Day crew. They were at Stores today. Phenomenal show. Saw Coach Calhoun there. Rip Hamilton made a half-court shot.
First shot, right?
One shot, it went in. And then the student got a shot for 19,000. And on his last shot, made it. But a really good show, and looking forward to next week's show. And kudos to Seth for the day he has put in and the night as well. Good watch this morning from 10 to 12. Will be each week. Look forward to seeing it again next week. Huge game, Tennessee, Alabama.
Ravi, Zakai Ziegler, a career-high 13 assists.
Yeah.
No turnovers in the game.
Perfect game.
And has played 34 minutes.
Connect.
Man, can he spin it? It didn't go in, but can he spin that ball, man, as a shooter?
It's so simple, huh? How it comes off his fingers.
Yes.
He sets his feet, gets the puppies organized. Ziegler the kick. Oh, nice job with the ball fake by Vescovy, and Awaka. Too big, too strong.
That high release by Awaka. We talked about with Adu in the second half as well. They literally just get the ball as high as they can and the flick of the wrist. No one teaches it better than Rick Barnes.
Well, 2 statements made today, one by Tennessee and one by Kentucky. A&M was picked to finish 2nd in the conference in the preseason. I think Arkansas was picked 3rd.
They were
preseason.
Well, to your point about Kentucky, their roster, you just start choosing what roster you want to coach the rest of the year in college basketball. They're going to be taken pretty quick. And UConn's roster is loaded, obviously with Purdue, but here's what I'm talking about. SEC Player of the Year race, Dalton Connect has the lead and probably going to hold on to it. Antonio Reeves for Kentucky, though, is part of that uber talented roster that Cal has to work with going forward. And Mark Sears for Alabama, I think he, in a losing effort today, had 20. But those are the 3 guys that have taken control of the SEC Player of the Year race. And Dalton Connect has the lead. I expect him to hold on to it. And that combination of he and Zakai Ziegler and Jonas Adu, man, what a 3-man force right now that Rick Barnes has in that lineup.
Both of them out of the game. Cameron Carr in 43 in white. Freddie DeLeon in as well. And what's going to end up being an absolute blowout by the Tennessee Volunteers. They exact revenge over A&M. I don't know, Jimmy. You tell me as a coach, you know, what do you do with your program having lost 4 in a row? 1 to Arkansas, who played well today. Caleb Battle at 42 and a win. And certainly this game here tonight.
They've lost their way offensively, Buzz's guys have. And they've always embraced the hard parts of the game. They're going to have to double down on that right now and find their way back. There's still a lot of ball left. They got important games in front of them on their schedule, but they have gone from a solid 8 seed, 7 or 8 seed just 2 weeks ago when we left College Station after they beat Tennessee, and now they're most likely going to be on the outside looking in. But I will remind you again, they will, if they aren't in the NCAA tournament, it will be the first time ever a team with 6 quad 1 wins has been left out.
I wonder how many times a team has had 6 quad 1 wins and the number of quad 3 losses that A&M has on their resume as well.
Yeah, that's too easy. Everything in the open floor. The Aggies have not fought back with their transition defense.
Must have about, what, 10, 12 dunks tonight?
Yeah, it seems like it. Well, you knew the DNA of Tennessee was going to show up tonight. Yeah, they don't like to lose, but they certainly don't like to lose how they did. They got punked on the glass. They couldn't keep the guards out of the lane. And Rick Barnes was very clear with us today at shoot around. He said, this game's pretty simple. Will we fight on the glass, which they did, and will we make A&M into a jump shooting team, which they did.
He also made the point, in this game, sometimes you overthink it. The team that makes the shots is the team that wins, and he's not making light of the game of basketball, but the point was he watched the Kentucky highlights. He said they made all their shots. Tennessee is shooting 50% tonight. They're making half their shots.
Well, yes, and to tag that, the game of basketball is pretty simple, Ravi. The quality of my shot versus the quality of your shot. And the quality of my shot by Tennessee tonight, way, way, way higher on the chart than the shot quality of Texas A&M.
Yeah. Look at the timeout. J.P. Estrella will come in. Tobe Awaka will come out.
You're not stopping the ball. You're gambling. You're not closing off the middle third of the floor in transition. And time again, Tennessee's made you pay. What a performance by Rick Barnes' guys. And their next 4 games are all against teams that are ranked inside the top 25. That's why I think they're going to be right there in the fight for that 4th #1 seed, along with UConn, Purdue, and Houston.
Yeah. Gainey wants it, and he's able to get it. And just an exclamation point for Gainey, who will have a chance to convert a 3-point play. Tomorrow, Liz Kitley, number 8, Virginia Tech. Jimmy, they will host North Carolina. That's 2 Eastern time on the ACC network. And the game day crew will tip off our coverage. They're heading to Blacksburg. They're there now. We'll see that at 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Liz Kitley is a double-double
machine.
6'6" machine. Absolutely she is. Tennessee was a machine tonight.
Woo! Freddie DeLeon add to the highlight reel. Watch it! Cameron Carr! Flush! Maybe the most fun that Tennessee has had in any game this year.
Complete domination by GBO.
.86-51. Rick Barnes picks up career win number 800. Second among the active coaches. John Calipari, the only one ahead of him. Jimmy, this game was tied at 24. They outscored him 62-27 the rest of the way.
Well, it was a defensive clinic by Tennessee, and their ball movement, how they shared it. They were so good and so clean in their transition game, Ravi. And again, it all starts with Zakai Ziegler, career high 13 assists, no turnovers. You get great point guard play in February, March, like 5 in white, and great post play from Adu. You are a hard, tough out in that NCAA tournament.
First step of the mission complete for the Volunteers. 4 huge games coming up. Back to the drawing board for A&M. Connect ends up with 24, Adu 18, and a near perfect game for Zakai Ziegler. For Jimmy Dykes, the Scots in the truck, Matthews and Johnson, I'm Carl Ravitch. Back to the studio with a Tennessee 86-51 win.